First off, congratulations to LAFC. Obviously an amazing game. A big thank you to all of our traveling fans that came out and really pushed us on and made it an amazing final. Obviously, we did everything in our power and pushed as hard as we could, but it wasn't meant to be today. We're close. I'm gutted for our players. They obviously give everything for the badge and for the club and for the city. But, kind of at a loss for words because this is a heartbreaking loss, no question.
For our participants in the room, we are waiting on our handheld microphones. We'll go ahead and get started. If you can just make sure that you're speaking up and say your name and your outlet. We'll start first question for Jim. Jonathan?
I think I can speak pretty loudly if needed. So.
Great, perfect.
Jim, two questions. First of all, was this finally a day for Jack Elliott to get the kind of spotlight that he hasn't nearly enough gotten in his career? And second of all, just in general, what on earth just happened out there on that field?
Yeah, look, a lot of guys had great days for both teams. I thought Jack Elliott, is a guy that maybe flies under the radar. So many others got individual accolades this year, and sometimes they can't choose so many players from one team, and I understand that. So maybe he got overlooked quite a bit, but an incredible final from Jack. Great performance. Again, I'm proud of our guys, and that locker room is, it hurts, and it's as silent as it can be in there. And there's not much you can say in a game like that where guys give everything for 130 minutes and penalty kicks. So incredible season from Jack. Again, an exciting final. Someone has to lose, and unfortunately, we came out on the wrong end today.
Scott French in front.
How you doing?
Hey, Jim. Scott French from Soccer America. Among the so many storylines of this game is John McCarthy coming in and making saves, a Philadelphia Union product, a guy who you've put in for PKs before.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts on that storyline and what he did today.
Yeah, obviously it's you feel for their goalkeeper when he gets stretchered off. That's a difficult one for everybody. Johnny is a great kid, a Philly kid, a guy that did great things here in Philadelphia. Look, soccer gods have a funny way of working, and as soon as the injury happened, I started to half joke with my staff that I can't believe Johnny's going to be in there, and this is probably going to go to PKs or something like that, along those lines when it happened. So, we didn't have Johnny and Gareth Bale being the ones that did us in today. But again, soccer's a funny sport that way, and then those are the guys that stepped up in a big spot. We were probably about 2 or 3 minutes away from lifting our trophy at MLS Cup, which would have been amazing. But our guys were tired. They were tired. They're down a man. It's chaotic. They're throwing bodies forward. We had a couple half chances to clear the ball there, but no subs left, and fatigue kind of set in, and we didn't get the job done.
We're going to go to the middle with Larry.
Jim, in the middle here, Larry Henry, SBI. Was it a bit frustrating not to get, really productive performances out of Mikel and Julian? Obviously, they played a big role for you, scoring goals and getting assists, but really not connecting in the final third today?
Yeah, look, I think if you look at the game as a whole, finals are never really what the regular season encapsulates. So I think that, a lot of their great attacking players were quiet. Some of our attacking players, weren't on the ball a ton, but they all worked very hard. So it was a game that, a deflection here or there for both teams, and goals were going in, and it was chaotic. It was end to end. There was a lot of emotion from both teams. It's what a final should be. I just feel terrible for our guys. So again, it's one of those ones I don't know. I was going to say, well, rewatch it, but I don't know if you rewatch that one. I think I lived it through the 130 minutes and aged probably 5-6 years. But look, it's again a great game, and unfortunate that we came out on the wrong end.
We're going to go over here on the left, Jim.
Jim, Peter Andrews, Police Officer.
How you doing?
At the end there, you're going into penalties. Mikel's out.
Yeah.
Out, Jack's out. What was your thinking in putting the lineup together? Who else was going to take penalties?
Yeah, look, Frank does a great job organizing the group and selecting who's going to take penalties. Obviously, you lose a couple attacking pieces when Corey goes out. He's a guy that would normally hit one. So when he went out, Chris goes in. He would not hit one. Had the unique situation where we actually have to pull somebody because they're short a man. So Leon was eliminated from selection there. So again, PKs are a tough way to end the game. I'm not saying that because we lost. It's still the equivalent of playing a basketball game and then settling it with the 3-point contest. It's dumb. It's not the sport, but once it goes there, anything can happen. And again, credit to them for getting the result. But yeah, I mean, we had a list of guys. Some guys, have little knocks and maybe change their mind when it gets to the big moment. But everybody stepped up, did their best, and unfortunately we didn't win.
We're going to come over here to the right with Josh.
Hey, Jim. I asked you a couple days ago about the 3-3 match in 2019, and you talked about how much that meant to you and how amazing that game was.
Yeah.
Where does this game stack up, relatively speaking? And these two teams, you and Philadelphia and LAFC, just seem to play one another in these matches, alternating goals nonstop. Should we expect more of this in the future?
Yeah, look, I think that you can have a great season, but the season only ends perfect for one team of the 28, and that's LAFC this season. So again, we, think back to that last 3-3 game. This one is an incredible game. I think I've only said I've been proud of a group in a loss maybe two or three times in my career as a coach, and I'm still very proud of the team. We're as close as we could possibly be to our first MLS Cup. The only other time I think I said I was proud in a loss was the penalty kicks against Seattle, which was a really good performance and a tough opponent. So. It's hard, man, right now. It's really difficult. I feel terrible for the players because they put so much into the season, into the game, and they're hurting right now. And that's natural and normal. We'll try to have a beer or two tonight and have some kind of way to put a smile on each other's face because they did accomplish something pretty amazing this year. LAFC is another great opponent. I think it's, John Thornton mentioned it'll probably be, in a long line of games in history, I think we'll see each other again in some big spots because we have two really well-run clubs, two really good teams, and players that fight till the end.
We're going to come back here.
Hi, Joseph DiPolito, The Guardian. Jim, two questions. First, how big a factor was Alejandro Bedoya's absence today? And second, what were the biggest differences in your team's play from the first half to the second half? Because you seem more aggressive in the second half and trying to create turnovers and press the play.
Yeah, look, the first part, if you take the captain off of any team in this league, they get significantly weakened. So to have the performance that we did without Alejandro, was pretty big. Second part again, sorry. It was
What was the difference
the second half. Yeah, you're right. Gotcha. Yeah, look, the first half, I think all finals start and it's chaos. The first 15 minutes, there's not a lot of soccer. I thought we did a good job limiting their star players, and they're going to get on the ball, but we put them on the ball in areas of the field that weren't dangerous, and we conceded off of an unforced error and a mistake and a bad foul, and the deflection goes in. So that can happen. I think the guys grew into the game in the second half, and our fitness, I think, helped us, and I think we showed that we belonged and we could play with them, and I think our confidence grew and grew. Almost gave the final haymaker punch there with the goal, but again, it just wasn't meant to be.
We're going to come down here in front with Jeff.
Jeff Reuter of The Athletic. Jim, incredible stretch here for the club,
Yeah,
starting with that U.S. Open Cup final in 2018 and progressing with all of the hardware and all of the finals, accolades, etc. As you approach this offseason, you think about the players coming back, the players who are departing. What's the next evolution to get past what's eventually been a stalemate to win the title? Yeah,
look, I think the most important thing here is to keep this group together, and that won't be easy because when you have success, people want a little bit more, and they're deserving of a little bit more because we have a great team and great players. So I hope that we're able to keep this group together again, maybe sprinkle in a piece or two that can provide some more depth and cover. But overall, you guys can tell we're close. We're close, and we can win an MLS Cup. but just today wasn't meant to be. So to answer your question, I hope this group stays together for many years. I think we can make another run at this thing, but right now it hurts, and we'll have to regroup and handle the off season.
We're going to go right here in the middle.
Hey, Jim, Ari Lillienwall with MLSsoccer.com. Kind of on that same topic, there's a couple reports in the days leading up to this game regarding Paxton Aronson and a potential transfer for him. Is there anything you can speak to or elaborate on regarding his status with the club?
I mean, great player, great young player. I thought he came into the game and helped us today. Did a good job. But as far as rumors and stuff like that, I stay out of the contract. I coach the guys that are here. They all work hard. Love my players. I love working with them. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds in terms of transfer stuff.
We're going to come back down in here in front with Jonathan.
Jim, speaking of Paxton, when you sent him into the game today, what did you say to him, both tactically and sort of mentally and encouragement-wise, for a moment like that?
Yeah, at that time we had just needed a boost in the attack. We just conceded a goal, so we decided to take Jack out, who Jack actually played a great game, I thought, did a great job for a teenager, and you put in some fresh legs on that side. We told him to treat it more like a second 10 or a wide winger, and get on the ball and dribble and drive at the LAFC team, because I think everybody was tired a little bit at that point because it was a high-intensity game. So I thought he stepped in and did a really good job, worked as hard as he possibly could, created some chances, and again, proud of all the guys' performances, really. I thought it was a day that a lot of guys had good days, and again, we just came up a little short.
Coach, thank you so much for your